as I promised you guys, we are going to be working with past papers. So guys, I've started with April 2018 math paper, and I'm going to work sections with you guys, giving you the solutions, showing you the questions and the solutions to the questions. Okay, if everybody's ready, we can begin. Okay, I'm going to share my board with you. Okay, so I'm starting with my questions, and the first question I have here says, factorize completely. Okay, my question is, factorize completely. Always read the question and see what it is they're asking you to do. And this is the equation they want you to factorize completely. Firstly, guys, when we look at this, we have to take out the common factors. So our equation becomes 2x2 over 2x minus 6x over 2x. Okay, and here it becomes x minus 3. Okay, and your final answer becomes 2x x minus 3. That's how we factorize completely. The next one says make r the subject of the equation, and it's h is equal to 2r minus 4. H is equal to 2r minus 4, and your instruction is to make r the subject of the equation. So what do? Just looking at this, we're going to divide both sides by 2. Okay, so our answer then will be r will therefore equal to h 2 plus 4. Okay. The next question says, here is a division, and the division is 7.1 divided by 8, and they want to know the answer. Guys, these are quite straightforward. They gave you half the answer and they left out a digit, and all they wanted you to do is work out the digit. If you have your calculator with you, if you go 7.1 divided by 8, you would know that the missing number here, the missing digit, is 8. So some of the questions are reasonably straightforward and easy, but guys, just watch, because it's in the easy and straightforward questions that you can sometimes get quite tripped up. Okay, next question said, here is a road sign. Okay, I'm going to try and share that piece of my board with you as well. Okay, it says, here is a road sign in the USA, and it says Chicago 10 miles. Draw a ring around the distance in kilometers that is closest to 10 miles. Now, how do we work out that? Firstly, we need to know what's the conversion between miles and kilometers. Okay, and for every mile, we get 1.609 kilometers. That's the conversion. Okay, for every mile, it's equal to 1.609 kilometers. So how will we work out the closest distance in kilometers? How will we know what's the closest to 10 miles? We are going to multiply. And what are we multiplying? We're multiplying 10 by 1.609, and our answer then will be 1.609, which means 16 kilometers is what the distance would be. 16 kilometers. So Chicago 10 miles, that means Chicago would be in more or less 16 kilometers. Okay. The next question says there are 96 children in a room. 40 of them are girls Find the fraction of the children that are boys, and then write your answer in its simplest form. There are 96 children in a room, 40 of them are girls. Write down the fraction of the children that are boys and write your answer in the simplest form. Firstly, we're going to say 96 minus 40, because they say 40 of it is girls. There are 96 kids in total, 40 of them are girls. We need to know what fractions are boys. So we're going to say 96 subtract 40. 96 subtract 40 will give us 56. Okay, then what do? We say 56 divided by 96. And your answer will give you, what will be, sorry, 56 divided by, your answer is 956. And you say 96 divided by 40, and your answer will be 7 over 70. So guys, you can use your calculator to work out that. You basically say 96 divided by 40, and your answer would give you 7 over 70. The next part says expand and simplify. Okay, I'm going to come back to that one shortly. I'm going to move on to this. It says, Blessy collects information to investigate this statement. Boys in my school play more sport each week than girls. Boys in my school play more sport each week than girls. Tick the 2 items that are the most relevant to her investigation. Now, to investigate the statement, boys in my school play more sport each week than girls, firstly, we need to know not the age of the student, the gender of the student, definitely. Time spent doing sport each week, yes, definitely. And favorite sport, no. So the 2 ticks you will make is the gender of the student and the time spent doing each sport each week. B says, Blessy collects data from 10 of her friends. Explain why she may not get a reliable result from this data. Explain why she may not get a reliable result from her data. And guys, it's quite simply why she will not get a reliable result from her data is 10 children is a very small sample. Okay, that's a very small sample size. She cannot get a proper reliable database on 10 students. Secondly, or furthermore, there is no evidence to show that she has equal amount boys and girls as of her friends, male or female as friends. So this data collection will be skewed. Okay, there's no proper evidence showing us how many boys and girls is or are amongst her 10 friends. So that is why this will not be a reliable result data collection. Okay, there's not 10 is too few a size sample, and secondly, of her 10 friends, we're not sure how many are male and how many are female. Okay, moving along, the next question says, write down the value of the square root of 225. And we know the square root of 225 is 15. So another very simple question for you. The next one says, draw a ring around the best estimate to the cube root of 100. So the cube root of a number is a number multiplied by itself twice. So if you work it out, it's the number times the number times the number times itself to give you the answer. So looking at the cube root of 100, is it 3.2, 4.6, 10, or 33? Well, we know it, for example, it cannot be 10 because 10 times 10 times 10 is 1,000. So that is out. We know it can't be 3.2 because if we had to work out 3.2 times 3.2 times 3.2, our answer will not give us 100. And 33 times 33 times 33 was going to give us 35,000. So the only one that could be the cube root or the estimate cube root of 100 is 4,6, because 4,6 times 4,6 times 4,6, the answer is 97.33, which is the closest to the cube root of 100. Okay, so now let's look at our next question that's here. It says work out 0,036 times 10 to the power 5. Once again, guys, you've got your calculator, and if you work out 0,036 times 10 to the power 5, your answer will be 3,600. Okay, the next question says 470 times 10 to the power of negative 2. Okay, and your answer there, if you calculate it, will be 4.7. The last one is 2 divided by 10 to the power negative 4, and your answer is 2,000. Okay, everybody with me so far? Okay, the next question we have, it says the term-to-term rule of a sequence is multiplied by 3. The term-to-term rule of a sequence is multiplied by 3. The fourth term is 54. Okay, and what they want you to do is work out the first term of the sequence. Okay, the first term is 54. The term-to-term rule is multiplied by 3, and they want us to work out the first sequence. All you guys are going to do is say 54 divided by 3, and you'll get the third sequence. You divide by 3, you will get your second sequence, and if you divide by 3, you will get your first sequence. So work out the first sequence of this rule. So it's 3, because 3 multiplied by 3 multiplied by, sorry, not by 3, it's 3, that is 2. It is 2, because 2 times 3 is 6, 6 times 3 is 18, and 18 times 3 is 54. So the first number, or the first term of the sequence, is 2. Okay, so let's move along to a different question. Oops, sorry guys. Okay, I'm going to share with you my board again with okay, it says triangle A is shown in the diagram. Then it says draw a circle around the diagrams below that are congruent to triangle A. Draw a circle around the ones that are congruent to A. So just looking at those circles, what are those triangles, what do we know about congruency? So if we have to look at these two triangles, firstly, if we look at the two sides and the one angle, we know that this triangle is congruent to triangle A. Then we look at these two, and then we look at triangle A, and we can see that this triangle is congruent to that triangle because it has one side and two angles that would be equal. Okay? One side and two angles. So that's how we work out congruency. So they each share 3 things with the primary triangle, and that's how we work out this particular congruency. Okay, now I'm going to show you this particular question. It says there are 280 students in year 10. Half of the students are boys. 155 of the students get a grade of A, B, or C in their mathematics test. 61 girls get a grade of D, E, or F. Complete the table. So guys, we can look at this grade in mathematics. Here's our table, boys, girls in total, grade A, B, or C, grade D, E, or F in the total. And we know the total number of students is 280. But before we carry on, they've given us the clue. They said half of the students are boys. So when we're working out this type of table, just going to share a whiteboard instead to work out this. So we got students that get A, B, and C, students that get D, E, and F. And we have a total. We have boys. We have girls. And we have total. Okay, and what's given to us is the 280 total students in the year 10 class. But the other clue to this is they say half the students are boys. So half of 280 is 140. So if half the students are boys, the other half has to be girls. Okay, so we know that is given to us. What else is given to us? They say 61 girls get D, E, or F. So we know we go to the girls and we put in 61. So how do we calculate how many girls are getting A, B, or C? We simply say 140 subtract 61, and that would be 79. So here we are sitting with, we've worked out the girls, okay? But now we need to know how many boys are getting A, B, or C. So they say 155 of the students get a grade of A, B, or C. So here for A, B, or C, we need to have the total of 155. So how do we work out how many boys then are getting A, B, or C? We simply subtract 155 minus 79, and our answer would be 76. So now we know that there are 76 boys getting A, B, or C. All we need to work out now is how many boys are getting D, E, or F. So we're going to say 140 subtract 76, and our answer will be 74. So here's our total number for the amount of students that are getting A, B, or C. And now we need to work out the amount of students that's getting D, E, or F. And that total is 125. And when you add these two up together, it's equal to 280. Okay, so guys, when you're working out a table like this, always first see what is given to you, and then go with what's given to you, and then start working out. It will make it so much more easier. The second part of this question says, a student is chosen at random from year 10. A student is chosen at random from year 10. It says, write down the probability that the student is a girl with grade 10, with grade D, E, or F. So write down the probability that a student is a girl, firstly, with grades D, E, or F. So grades D, E, or F, there's 61 girls. So how do we work out the probability? We're going to divide. We're going to say 61 divided by 280, and our answer will be 22%. So there's a 22% chance that a girl chosen at random will be from the D, E, or F category, and it will be a girl. Okay? Anybody stuck? All good. Okay, so now we're going to move along with our questions, and we're going to try and answer a few more questions before our time's up. Okay. The next question says, here is an expression, 3a plus 4 plus 7b. And the question to us is, which is the third term in this expression? Which is the third term in this expression? And all we need to do is, if we separate them, we'll know that 7b is the third term in this expression. Then the next question says, use the laws of arithmetic to write numbers in the boxes to make these calculations correct. Now, not so long ago, we worked on simultaneous equations. And this is basically what this is, simultaneous equation. So we've got 4.5 times 8 is equal to 4,5 times 2 times 2. And we've got a block. Okay, so what we can gather, because you guys are also sitting with your calculators and calculating, 4,5 or 4.5 multiplied by 8 is going to equal to 36. 4.5 times 2 times 2 times what other number is going to give me 36? Okay, the answer is times 2. So 4.5 times 2 times 2 times 2 will equal to 36. And that is how we work out simultaneous equations. It's both got to have the same answer on the both sides. The next question, question is 8.84 times 25 is equal to 8, or 8.84 times 100 divided by a number. So 8.84 times 25 is equal to 221. So just looking at this question, here we're timesing by 25 and here we're multiplying by 100, but we needed to divide. So how many times can 25 go into 100? And the answer is 4. So we know that 8.84 multiplied by 100 divided by 4 is going to give us 221. Okay? Then we've got 6.8 times 5 is equal to 6.8 times something divided by 2. So 6.8 times 5 is equal to 34. And if we look on this side, it says 6.8 times a number divided by 2. So if I'm looking at what I'm multiplying on this side, and if I'm looking at my open block, the only thing that can go into this block is 10, because 6 times 8 times 10, 6.8 times 10 divided by 2 is going to give me 34. Okay,